I am thoroughly disappointed. I have feelings, emotions about this season. Now, if you have not watched all the episodes, you might want to come back. You might want to save this video. Or if you are tired of watching, just watch my video. But we're going to get into it right about now from a therapist perspective. I am Denise Brady. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, and for this entire season, I have been recapping and watching. But then at some point, I'm like, I'm just gonna watch all the episodes on Peacock because I kind of want to move past this show at this point. All right. Now, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Okay. Why am I disappointed, you ask? Because I didn't sat through 9 episodes. And if you watch all the episodes, you probably know why I'm disappointed. Okay? This is going to be an unhinged, just rant recap of this show. Okay? So pull up, get you a drink, get comfortable because I'm about to get into some things. Now, like I said, I have watched all these episodes, y'all. Okay? From Ben to Chris to Holly. Okay? All of them. Zeus. All of them. Okay? Now, only to what? Get to the very end and what? Let me know in the comments. And what? To have 2 out of the 3 women not choose somebody, and then one of the women choose somebody who remind me of their ex-husband? Yes, I'm going to say it, okay? I'm going to say it all. Now, let's go through some of these men before I get to the end. Okay, of what really happened in that last episode, because I feel like I want my time back. And side note, I've been trying to get an interview with Norman, and he agreed to do an interview with me, y'all. So I'm waiting on him to sign some of my consent forms, and hopefully I will get that to y'all. But it's time to talk about the men in this season and the women, so let's get into it. Now, okay, let's talk about Zach. Now, I watched all these episodes, and I kept wondering, what is it about Zach that kept him there? Was it that he was a diversity, point chosen man? Only for what, y'all? For him to get sick and have to go home. What was it, episode like 8, 6? Okay, he realized he had vitiligo or something like that and had issues with his health and had to go home. Okay, and Delicious didn't even believe he was really sick. She thought he was faking for attention, only for this man to really end up in the hospital. Let me tell y'all about dating women who have a history of trauma, mistrust, and abuse from their own relationships and childhood. Will bring that into a new dynamic. Now, I feel like, let me clear my throat real quick. Okay, I feel like I said a lot about Delicious to not believe this man was really sick and pretending to get attention from her, when really he really was. It shows a lot about her caliber as a person. Over and over again, I have watched this season where men are vulnerable, men do different things, and Delicious is combative. I feel like at times she is only about herself, okay, and often makes time and things about Delicious. And then when people try and speak up and have conversation with her, the men, she gets defensive and she pushes them away, and it becomes all about Delicious. Now, we're going to talk about how that came up over and over again. But with Zach, I kept wondering what it is about him that he's still here. Because was anybody really interested in him? Now, I've said in my previous videos, I feel like K. Michelle wanted some cream in her coffee. Okay. And, I thought maybe those two would get together. But then once that ended, what was he really doing here? Okay, let me know what y'all think. All right, Booker. Okay, Booker was one of Lisa's men. Now, somebody said in the comments in one of my other videos that Booker seemed like he was a red flag, and I agree. Okay, now in the beginning he seemed kind of like innocent, maybe just really wanted to be with Lisa, but then he started to become kind of a lurker. Okay, whenever she was with somebody, he found a way to come over and keep his eye on her. He seemed possessive, territorial, and a little bit controlling, okay? Especially when it came down to it being him versus old boy from Dallas. I really feel like you saw his controlling behaviors, jealousy also come out, Okay, now Booker, you got to keep your eye on, because on the outside, I think he presents one way, but then in reality, he ain't the same way behind closed doors. And then as they got to that vacation, the cabin, you saw more of his true colors come out, and more of it was like, oh, it felt like it's something wrong with Booker. Okay, I don't think he should be with Lisa at this point, because my spidey sense was like, oh, you got a dark side. You got a controlling, possessive side that you have not worked through at this age, that you are still territorial about the women that you date. And being on the show where you are dating a bunch of people, you cannot come on these shows and try and be possessive. LisaRaye was not your woman. She was someone you were dating and getting to know. Okay. Now, some of the other standout people I wanted to talk about, Norman, I talked about in my first video. Hopefully, I'll have an interview with him. We can get a little bit more deeper on things. So I'm not going to go too much into him. But we saw a bunch of the different men that they tried to date. Who else? Afam. He was too calm. He wasn't the right person for this show. I think his demeanor was just not on par with the women. Not that there's anything wrong with him. I just feel like who he is, his calm spirit, his demeanor, not want to be in the limelight, kind of is chill in the background. These women all want attention. They want to feel wanted. They want the chase. Okay? And he seems like he's established, where he's not in a place where he really needs to be chasing people, if you know what I'm saying. But his personality was a little bit dull and kind of in the background, where you can tell when he was at K. Michelle's listening party, he just did not fit in. Okay, so I did not see him really going nowhere. Andre, it was interesting because I really thought that at some point maybe there's a chance, but then I saw him a little bit more and thought he is kind of cocky, because I think his name is Ben. Ben was white. Okay. And at times I feel like on these shows where there's a black guy versus a white guy, it becomes, I'm black. Like, he ain't got nothing on me. He just this random white man. She gonna choose me. It became more about ego. More about, he ain't got nothing on me. He just this little white man, and I'm a brother. She want a brother. The ego got in the way. And the relationship between him and his friend was quite interesting, because it's true. She know everything about you. Y'all really, kicking it like that. She your ace, boom, coon. How come you're not together? Okay, maybe I might have her come on so we can talk about some things also. But Andre, I think he was shocked when he got eliminated, but I was not, because I felt like towards the end, I really thought she was leaning more towards Ben. We're going to get into her decision that happened at the end. Okay. But I really thought that, Andre was going to be somebody she chose. But then when that friend came on board, that's when you saw K. Michelle kind of pull back. K. Michelle was interesting because you can tell when she's into somebody, and you can tell when she's guarded and when she's holding back. And when she's not interested, I picked up very, early on with some of these men. When she's not interested in you, she will dispose of you. Okay. And that's not really the best thing, because she's good at cutting people off. All right. But, with her and Andre, once that friend came on, it was a no-go. Now, Tracy was one of Delicious's guys. Okay. Now, it's interesting because I think it was between Tracy and Zeus with Delicious. Okay. And now Tracy, there was this whole birthday thing. Okay. Now, it was his birthday. They were all at the cabin together, and it was his birthday. And apparently on his birthday, Delicious was, in the jacuzzi, the spa, making that thing twerk with Zeus. She was all over Zeus. It was like, Tracy who? Okay? And it was interesting because in the next day they had this therapy scene. Now, kudos to the therapist. She was real. Okay? I really liked her. I haven't seen somebody on TV who's a real therapist, not a coach, really present like she did, kept it real, was honest. I really enjoyed her, and I hope I see her more on TV, because it was interesting how, to me, the next day when Delicious was talking about, it was his birthday, he didn't even tell me. I'm expecting him to be vulnerable with me and tell me everything, and it was his birthday and he didn't even tell me. That was her guilt. Okay? To me, it was her guilt of, oh, dang, I was over in the jacuzzi and I didn't even know it's his birthday. I'm supposed to be possibly his fiance, his queen, she tried to flip it and make it, oh, it's your fault because you didn't tell me it was your birthday. How could you not tell me you it's your birthday? You supposed to be opening up to me, telling me, opening up. And that's the problem. I feel like he does not really open up to me. To me, it was more about guilt. And she tried to flip it. And notice how she presents. I wonder how that's how she communicates in her relationship. When she is not able to take accountability, she flips it on the other person. And I see that in a lot of couples where they're arguing, and instead of taking accountability, you get defensive and you try and flip it and then say, well, remember that time you did this? You always do this. Learn to take accountability. Delicious to me lacks accountability. Now, Tracy, he wasn't her type, okay? Because she is not so much healed from her marriage, to me, Zeus was more like her husband, her ex-husband, okay? The way he looked, I think it's some of the ways he acts, some of the things she is used to was Zeus, okay? But Tracy, he was just too quiet, too calm for her style. But I think it could have worked if Delicious was in a different place and ready for something new and different. But because he was a little bit quieter, not as forceful, not as in her face, trying to be all over her and lick all over her neck and touching all over her booty, okay, like Zeus, he got pushed to the side, okay? Nice guys finished last. Now, David was interesting because I feel like David was more on LisaRaye's level. Maturity-wise, they've gone through similar things, going through grief. I feel like he's able to hold space for her. He was able to hold her during her grief emotionally, okay? And he really showed up for her. So we're going to get into the end a little bit later, but I feel like it was interesting how the end happened, okay? But I feel like David in the beginning, I thought he was a little bit too, similar to LisaRaye. He had all the right words, but he kind of calmed that down and his true side came out. So I really thought they were going to be kind of a match, but we'll get to that, okay? Ben. Was Ben a diversity hire? Okay. Was he equal opportunity? Okay. Because Ben is 53. He was married for 17 years before starring on the Queen's Court. I never understood how he got so far. He became one of the last two for K. Michelle, which I was just like, Ben, how are you still here? There was nothing really pizzazz about him, but at the same time, I feel like K. Michelle is in this era of wanting something different, calming down, want to live on this farm thing. And Ben represents the opposite of what she has dated before. So she wanted to try something new. So in the end, it seemed like she was leaning more towards Ben than, what's his name, Nosh? Nosh was about himself, okay? Nosh was about being on the show to promote himself. He was similar to the guy she has dated before. Too busy, always doing other stuff. And was he really involved in wanting to be with K. Michelle? I really don't believe it, okay? He was on there for himself, and he wanted a certain caliber of woman. He wanted a submissive, I'm going to stay at home and cook for you, a domesticated woman, which, K. Michelle is very much like independent into her career. Let's get into Charles. Charles was weird. Okay, he was weird to me. He was on the wrong show. He tried so hard. He has, to me, an anxious attachment style. He really wanted LisaRaye to like him. He was wanting to do whatever, eat whatever, okay? And it just wasn't a match. He was just trying too hard. His lines didn't land. And he just came off super anxious to me, okay? I think those are most of the men. Zeus remind me so much of Delicious's ex-husband. Okay, but let's get to this ending. All right, because that's pretty much most of the men that I care to talk about. Oh, Chris, the white boy. Okay, how are you a manifestation coach with that anger? Okay, he was self-absorbed, but a manifestation coach. Now, y'all know I'm not big on coaches. I feel like anybody and their mama can say that they're a coach when they really not. Okay, this shows you right here, them coaches got their own issues. Not everybody, but them coaches be something else. Okay, but those are most of the men. Now let's get to this ending, y'all. I said through how many episodes, recap how many episodes, only to what? Have K. Michelle not choose nobody. Okay, Delicious choose her ex-husband, and LisaRaye realized she's in too much grief to be somebody's queen. Okay, and you can tell that with LisaRaye. Dallas was very, was his name Dallas? I can't remember if his name was actually Dallas, but he was shocked. I would be disappointed and kind of frustrated that I took time out of my life to come on this show, to go through all these challenges, only for you to say, I'm not ready and I can't be anybody's queen. What? Okay. I was just like, wait a minute. Don't tell me I just sat through how many episodes and y'all not choose nobody. And the one person who choose somebody is the same man she was married to. Okay? Where were the experts at? But it was very disappointing to have them not choose the right people. You know, some people might find it was great to watch them choose themselves, watch women go through this journey and learn about themselves, what they need. Okay, but there's therapy for that. I don't need it. That's not 8 episodes. Where at the end, you're supposed to be somebody's queen. Okay, so I was highly disappointed. Now, I didn't watch season 1, so I don't know what. I think Evelyn got engaged. We know Tamar got engaged. Nivea, I don't think she actually got engaged, because I never heard anything about her story, but I was disappointed. Okay, very disappointed. Now, I might try and get in contact with some of these men to have them come on and share their story. But yeah, I want my time back. I feel like there's a lot of shows nowadays that are coming out. We're in the height of fall TV, only for most of it to be disappointing. Okay, there's not like rich TV anymore. There's just not what it used to be. I'm kind of bored. I'm about to go back and watch some old shows. Okay, because right now, nothing is really giving. Okay, but I want to know your thoughts. Of course, you should join our book club. Okay, all my subscribers, we're going to be having a book club. How We Heal is going to be our first book. So we have our first, reading of it on the 13th of November. But make sure you get the book, the audio book. Join our book club. Okay, learn, heal, work on yourself. And was it a waste? Did I waste my time watching this show? Did y'all watch it? What do you think? Okay, make sure you like, you subscribe, you buy the book. If you can, buy it from her website, a Black author, Alexandria. Black owned, or I guess Jeff Bezos, y'all can buy it from him. But buy it from her website. Support her 100%, okay? But let me know your thoughts, what you think of this season. Is TV right now just like really boring, okay, and a mess? Can we blame it on the strike that it's not no good TV? We got a couple things, Abbott Elementary, okay, a couple little things here and there, but for the most part, Papa's House, boring, okay? But let me know your thoughts, because of course, your girl will get into it, and I will see y'all in the next video. Make sure you hit that like, that subscribe, join my membership, send me some supers, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!